I'm not selling shit. I'm gonna explain what I mean by that because these Bitcoin reserve news that just came out today, causing this big pump in Bitcoin, is a very, very big deal. And we need to understand and just be realistic with how this affects the Bitcoin price going forward, and what we can realistically be looking at short term and then going forward, right? Because I've said this many, many times in previous. I said this so many times. Is continuing to accumulate BitU, and I've showed you guys my BitU position previously, and I kept saying, like, you gotta buy, because this won't last very long. We can easily see a V-shaped recovery. Ended up being a bit more of an inverse head and shoulders, which I don't pay attention to too much, but it is something to note. And I kept saying, right, it's a great time to buy. Like, be aggressive with it. MSTR, Mara, it's very important. Now Sunday we have this big pump, and I'm hoping, as I was making those videos last week, a lot of you were getting ready to, even though they were just my opinion, getting ready to buy and accumulating, because we can see a big pump when the market opens on these stocks tomorrow, Monday. But we're going to take a look at the short term picture in just a moment, because we have very positive news. Basically, the confidence on the Bitcoin reserve happening has increased massively. We have confirmation that this is pretty much guaranteed to happen. It's not official just yet. There's some more setups that need to be done to create this, and then there's also some more approvals that need to happen. But it's basically, it's there, and I don't think Donald Trump will be making these statements if he pretty much wasn't already expecting this to for sure happen this year. So really, the confidence is there, and it's as close to being guaranteed as possible as it can be. So just to keep things realistic, right? We're gonna look at the short term picture. We're gonna look at what I talked about the last couple of days, the last two videos or so, and then how we can be realistically approaching this throughout not just this coming up week, but in throughout the rest of March, into March here, because it is March 2nd right now. So first trading week, first trading day tomorrow of March, right? We have a strong Bitcoin pump. I created this yellow area which overlaps the previous imbalance areas right here. So we have 3 levels of resistance acting as a strong magnet, right? I said this on the MSTR video yesterday. I said that there's 2 pathways. We either come down, try to fill in the imbalance down here, which will be very short-lived. It'll happen very quickly and push higher. Or we can respect the 120 moving average on my chart here, on the 1 hour chart, on the 1 hour candles, and use it as support to then push up higher leading into this first week, right? Both of those pathways are bullish. One just delays it just briefly and then pumps higher. We ended up just taking the first route. And what we have here is the resistance area. The imbalance got pushed. We have the RSI maxed out, and we have the top of this fib extension acting as support. Acting as resistance, being validated and continuing to be validated as it struggles to not just push over it, but to go ahead and try to reach the top of this wick on this 1 hourly candle back here that was created earlier today. So now, with this little bit of short-term weakness, what we have is the possibility increasing of seeing some short-term price actions potentially coming down. There's so this is invalid, right? And now these got maxed out. We're looking at, there's a lot of liquidation walls that are being held at these areas on the Bitcoin liquidity map. And we have, if I can show you guys right now, another imbalance that was formed right in this range right here. So understanding, and now this is in my opinion most likely, as of right now, unless we have some crazy new tariffs coming out or some crazy news, anything bearish. As of right now, there's no signs of any of that. It can happen randomly, but as of right now, we can be very much confident that we are in a new bullish trend. to reverse up from these massive terror fear dips that we've seen in Bitcoin, right? Completing that CME gap, which I'm gonna get into in a moment. But what we have, right, is some weakness showing up here, also reflected on the RSI, a little bit too overbought, right? And it's showing that weakness up here, struggling to want to break back and retest this little swing high on this candle right here. So there's really just two things, and both of these are bullish, right? We see the RSI reset, just like would have happened if we were just to come down to this imbalance and push higher. But we can easily see the RSI reset, come back down, be oversold, discounted. If the price comes down, have a little bit of a correction coming into this imbalance right here, right? Coincidentally, like it always happens, very coincidence. This entire move up creates a retracement area. I'm actually going to move it a little bit to the side. Creates a retracement area that overlaps with this imbalance area as well. So this is a very, I'm not going to say it acts as a strong magnet, but it acts as a very realistic support, very strong support. If we were to come down, use it as support, these two areas overlap really well. Imbalance and retracement in blue now. Use this to find support and push up higher as we continue an uptrend, right? The thing is as well, that area, simple support now with the pump that we have right there, as you can see, crosses right through there as well. So we can see it come down, it can potentially consolidate a bit. Regardless, not breaking below this, right? That will be the short-term realistic view to have a corrective move, because we do have a lot of longs right here, a lot of pumps. There could be some profit taking, come back down into this area, be a realistic support area, great area to either open a long position, in my opinion, or just accumulate more with anticipations that we're going to push up higher and finally start trading back within this range up here over 100K. Now, that will be the primary move that I would prefer to happen, because it will give us a much more clear setup. It will give Bitcoin a breather for then it to pump up higher, right? But it absolutely could continue to find enough momentum as this first trading week of March opens up. Wall Street, a lot of FOMO can be occurring now with the reserve update that came out. It can cause a lot of FOMO and a lot of buying, right? So we can even see the price consolidate just a little bit early tomorrow, and then just push up higher. That's absolutely possible as well, due to, again, a lot of the FOMO that can be working its way up in the background, because we had a ton of fear from Wall Street. Now things are starting to change, so they might be like trying to scramble. There's gonna be a lot of scrambling going on to push it, or to get into it, and then that can push the price higher. Maybe a little bit of consolidation overnight, and then bam, it can easily push up higher into this range up here, which can look something like this. Let's see if we can make sense of it just a little bit. Actually, I don't think this is gonna. Actually, no, it makes sense. Yeah, so we can easily see the possibility of something like this occurring, where we have that little bit of FOMO kicking in still a little bit more into this first trading week of March. Okay, I had to step away from my computer for a little bit to take care of something, but I'm back now. The second pathway, which is still bullish, unlike the first one where we see a little bit of a dip, try to fill in this thicker imbalance gap right here with the retracement area, we could potentially move up higher into this new fib extension area I just created, which will be an extension of this overall rally. As you can see, this overall rally began to consolidate and not showing too much weakness, although this previous swing high still needs to be tested on this candle's wick to see if we can push up any higher if volume is strong enough. But we are going to be fighting the RSI at the same time. It is quite maxed out, and the 120 moving average is very much low. So a correction will be more ideal. It will create a much more clear setup, but we do have enough consolidation with enough momentum to try to retest a swing high. And if we do push up higher, we can potentially max out this whole um, extension area before seeing a more significant correction as we continue to move up, into new highs, into the new next leg up area, excuse me, because we need proper ways to factor in moves up to be able to continue moving up. We can't just move up all the way, which we absolutely could, but seeing enough consolidation, enough evidence to at least show bullish momentum could continue to push this even higher. So basically, that's just my opinion on Bitcoin during this very positive news we've gotten. It's actually happening a lot sooner than I thought it would. But again, we still need there's still a few more things I believe that are in setup for the reserve, and a few more approvals I need to complete before we can officially see a reserve actually take place. But we are on the way there with all this just confidence that's building up, with Trump really pushing towards it. And again, I don't really think he's the kind of person to say something if he can't follow along with it. So I think with a lot of the new crypto supportive people that are joining the government, to much higher chance of this happening. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Actually, I forgot to add this down here, right? So after all the fear we've had, and this new supportive fib extension area we've had down here, we maximized it really, really well and found support right at the bottom of it. Not the entire CME gap at 77K, but we are very much so close to it. And this area just held super nicely, finding support right at the bottom of it. So I do believe this area is successfully filled now that we've broken past it. Not just broken past it, but aggressively broken past these imbalanced areas right here, maxing out this yellow area. So let's see what we have to look forward to. And it looks like a little bit more momentum is trying to build up, but it's still kind of volume isn't there completely just yet. But yeah, guys, now I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.